Hi, I'm Hal Aronson with We Share Solar, and today I'm going to show you in a quick video how to disassemble the We Share Solar 601 Solar Suitcase, and you'll do this when you're ready to do the program again with another group of students. We recommend you keep the Solar Suitcase assembled to use in the case of a natural disaster or power outage until it's time to then disassemble it for your next set of students. The tools you'll need for disassembly are very simple. You'll need your 6-in-1 screwdriver, which you already have. I recommend you get a chopstick. There's one operation where the soft wood is handy. And then a couple of bags for the parts as you disassemble the Solar Suitcase. So the first thing I do when I disassemble the Solar Suitcase is I remove the main control board from the blue case. So I'll just take that out. And with the Solar Suitcase facing me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo all the screws from the top that I can do, including the screws on the charge controller that hold the wires in place. This way I can remove the charge controller early on in the process, and that will keep it further out of harm's way as we do the disassembly. So here it goes. Now, by the way, when you undo these screws, don't do them all the way because you don't want them to come off the charge controller. Just a couple of turns to make it so it's easy to remove the wires. And this will go pretty fast. That one was done nice and tight. I was happy to see that. And you can see in about 20 seconds we've loosened all the wires. Just pull them. And then we're going to remove the wires holding the charge controller in place. And I just reach behind and grab the nut to do that. And I can kind of spin the nut off and turn the screw at the same time. You'll get really good at this. Hopefully you'll have some students that'll want to help you with this. Maybe you'll give them a little extra credit. And let me see if I can reach that one. It's a little harder to reach, but I got it. And finally this one. Now the charge controller is out. I'll get rid of the screws and I'll put the charge controller in its own bag because we want to really treat it with a lot of tender respect. Now the charge controller is out of the way and I can remove the solar socket. Same process. The only reason it's a little bit tedious is we're trying to do this video in one take because our wonderful intern is about to head back to New York, so he won't have time to do any tedious editing. Okay, so now the solar socket is done. Now this is not coming out yet because these wires, we'll deal with those later. Now from the back, we turn it over and we're going to start removing wires. I grab whatever I'm pulling the wire off of, in this case the main switch. I just pull these pieces off. Just a good, firm, steady upward pull. Now that I can take the switch out, and here's where the chopstick is handy. I can just push on these little restraining clamps here, and it is released. See these little guys here? You just push those, and those are what lock it into the chassis. So I'll put that off to the side. And now I'll go to the other circuit breaker, and maybe you'll get a better view this time of how I release it. So I'm just pushing this restraining clamp, this one, and that one. You'll get the hang of it after a while. See how that loosened it up? And then I can wangle that in there. But I forgot to pull these off, so let me hold this and pull these flag connectors off. And now this is released, and I can get this breaker out of the way. Next, let me pull the wires off the light and load sockets. And then we just loosen these nuts holding the sockets in place. It's come on nicely. Ready for the next batch of students. I've already improved my technique. It's nice when you hold it from the other side to spin it. I can pull some of these wires through now. And now I'm going to remove the pop-up breaker. Let me first take off the flag connectors. One. This can be hard. Try not to work it back and forth though. Try to give it a straight pull if you can. And then you see this has got a little tab locking it in. I'm just going to push that with the chopstick. That pushed it in. I turn it around and get the other one. And this comes out. And finally, you can decide whether or not you want to remove the battery socket. This is a little harder to do, but if you want your students to have the thrill of popping it in, you can go ahead and do that. And my technique is to take this barb here and push it in and then down with the chopstick. So in and then down. See how that went in? And now I'll do the other side. In and down, and that's out. And then I would just go ahead and leave these grommets in. But if you really want to, I'll let you figure this one out on your own. And then it's good to have a baggie and take all the parts you removed and put them in the baggie for next year or whenever you're going to do your next class. Oh, also you can open up these Wagos. I forgot to do that. So let me just do that real quick. You're going to get really strong fingers after you do enough of these Wagos. And try not to lose any of these bolts and nuts. But if you do, they're very easy to find in a hardware store, or we can have Allie send you one as well. Either way is good. They're just a 5-cent item. And then I throw the charge controller in here as well. Seal the baggie. Put it in here. Put in the screwdriver. Oh, I left one of these. I'll show good practice. I'll actually put it in the baggie. There you go. Chopstick stays outside because you'll need it again. Put this in here, and we're good to go. I could even screw in this nylon bolt if you have one of those. And they'll never know that this wasn't the first time they get to use, whoops, upside down. Let's do it right side up. The We Share Solar Suitcase. Thanks for watching.